Good day to all of you. I'm Norbert Kamenov, and a warmest welcome to the new time on Silkway. By 2025, the share of state-owned enterprises in the Kazakhstan's economy is expected to decrease to 14% due to the implementation of a comprehensive privatization plan, Kazakh Prime Minister Alykhan Smailov announced at a government meeting. According to him, the privatization process in the country should be carried out transparently. All the issues related to this course should be under special control of the heads of state bodies. Kazakh Minister of National Economy Jibek Joly said that over 200 socially significant facilities essential for life support of the population were excluded from the privatization list. They will remain state property, Joly noted. The issue of the privatization by investors may be considered in the future. To do this, investors must agree to abide by the terms that take into account the interest of the state. The comprehensive planning includes 675 objects of state property and quasi-public sector. Until the end of the year, 80% of them will be put up for sale, the government notes. At the regular meeting of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Collective Security Treaty Organization in Moscow, chairperson of the Kazakh Majlis, Yerlan Koshanov, announced the initiative to pass the ССТO model law on countering terrorism. The Speaker of the lower house of the Kazakh parliament stressed that various threats and conflicts that undermine stability and security remain urgent. In these circumstances, the President of Kazakhstan has repeatedly emphasized the importance of an open dialogue, Koshanov added.
Терроризм несет серьезную угрозу безопасности и стабильности, создает...
Terrorism jeopardizes security and stability. It poses serious threats by causing the growth of illegal migration, cross-border crime, illicit trafficking in arms and drugs. We should provide a qualitative framework of model legislation that shapes clear legal mechanisms to address these challenges together. In this regard, Kazakhstan is ready to develop the ССТO model law on countering terrorism.
The parliamentarians adopted a statement on the inadmissibility of developing biological and toxin weapons on the territory of the ССТO member countries. The results of the ССТO Parliamentary Assembly work in monitoring the presidential elections in Kazakhstan were also announced. The mission concluded that the elections were held in accordance with international standards. The online payments volume has increased in Kazakhstan. Since the beginning of the year, citizens have withdrawn only 16 trillion tenge of cash. This means that only 18% of the population chose to pay using the banknotes. For comparison, only 6 years ago, 90% of Kazakh residents used to first withdraw paper money from payment cards and only then spend them. The situation changes every year. My colleague has the details.
According to statistics, about 70 million bank cards have been registered in Kazakhstan. That is, every adult resident of the country has 2 or 3 cards. In a 9-month period, the population spent more than 70 trillion tenge on non-cash payments. It is 44% more than in 2021. Digital payment methods were used for 80% of purchases.
Мне удобнее наличными расплачиваться.
For me, it is convenient to use cash. This allows me to keep track of my expenses and refrain from spending money on things I don't really need. Bank cards offer bonuses, and that attracts. But in my mind, it feels like you have an unlimited amount of money, and you are spending it carelessly.
В голове думается, что у тебя там безлимитные деньги, и как бы ты уже тратишь все.
According to the report of the National Bank of Kazakhstan, the volume of non-cash transactions in the country has increased over the pandemic years. Such a situation is observed all over the world. But as financial experts say, people will continue to use cash as well. After all, paper money has not lost its importance.
У нас они превалирующие, и дальше вот вытеснять наличные.
They prevail in our society. To displace cash will be much more difficult. A certain category of people is using them, so banknotes are not going anywhere. We also know that there is a shadow sector where this payment method is used to avoid taxes. And until we address this issue, we will not raise the cashless payments to 100%.
Вследствие, и пока вот этим сектором не заняться, то безнал там до 100% мы не доведем.
According to experts, at present, over 80% of the country's population has switched to non-cash payments. In the next year, this figure may be even higher, provided that the rate of online shopping increases in the northern regions.
South Korea has proposed a number of projects aimed at tackling the traffic congestion problem in Almaty metropolis. At the invitation of the World Bank, the Kazakh delegation visited the country and got acquainted with the work of its public transport and smart technologies. The solution of the problems of Almaty traffic jams was one of the main topics of the seminar's agenda, which was attended by representatives of the Seoul metropolitan government. There are about 500,000 vehicles in Almaty, the mayor's office of the city reported. Besides, there are cars from other regions as well. The Seoul metropolitan government has said that it is possible to resolve the problem of traffic congestion in Almaty.
Мы планируем создавать систему умные светофоры.
In order to reduce traffic congestion in the city, we are planning to create a smart traffic light control system. At present, the system that controls traffic lights based on sensors that are embedded in the road surface has been installed and is operational at 98 intersections. We are also considering various other options, and one of the alternatives is the use of traffic cameras. That is, a vehicle recognition system that will help us solve the traffic congestion problem. It is possible to reduce traffic if more passengers opt for public transport rather than private cars. To do this, we have introduced various innovations in Seoul. For example, a trip on any bus, metro or taxi can be paid by one card. Mobile apps make it possible to track the route of a particular bus or underground train. We have also restricted the entry of private vehicles into certain areas in the city center. If such measures are introduced in Almaty city, I think it will be possible to reduce the number of cars in traffic jams respectively.
Since the beginning of the year, more than 1,000 children with developmental delay have received medical care in the Abai region. Rehabilitation assistance was provided in special centers set up at a maternity hospital in Semey. One institution that started working with the support of the First President's Foundation receives children from 0 to 3 years of age with different problems. The other center accepts patients from 3 to 18. Up to 100 people get medical care at a time. According to the Social Health Insurance Fund, 2 billion tenge was allocated for rehabilitation activities in 2022. 3 billion will be budgeted next year.
Осы оңалту орталығында біздің Абай облысының шет жақтарындағы райондардың
Children from the districts of the Abai region receive a 21-day treatment in the rehabilitation center. It was open for children from the remote areas to provide them with high-quality health care.
Себебі енді шет жақтағы райондарда, шет жақтың жерлерден енді осындай көмекті жеткізу қазір қиындау болып тұр.
Балалар ем алғаннан кейін бізде өте көп жақсы нәтижелеріміз.
The treatment shows positive results. Children feel very good after rehabilitation. They have several treatment sessions here. Those who could not walk start to take their first steps. Those who could not keep their heads now hold them confidently. Those who could not speak start talking. Parents are very happy.
Соған ата-аналары қуанып жатыр, олармен қоса біз өзіміз де қуанамыз.
The 4th International Animation Film Festival, Amen, kicked off in Almaty. This year, the competition program presents 50 films from 15 countries, including Poland, France, Georgia, Spain, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan. Kazakhstan is represented by animation works such as Bekzat, Batır Ushkashtar, and Tentekter. The authoritative jury of the contest is headed by Konstantin Bronzit, the famous animator from Russia. The screening of works at the international festival will open with the short film Shirak by Meyrjan Sandıbay.
9 номинация бар биылғы жылда. Гран-приден бастап.
There are 9 nominations in total, starting with the Grand Prix. Winners will be determined for Best Screenplay, Best Production Design, Best Animated Film, Best Animated Series, and Best Student Work. There will be also 2 special prizes this year. One is the Amen Haydar Award and the other from the community that organized the festival.
Қауымдастықтың, осы фестивальді ұйымдастырып жатқан қауымдастықтың арнайы сыйлығы.
Талантты жастар, талантты студиялар бар, яғни
We have quite a lot of young talented people involved in making animated films for the US. Many of them also create animation in Japan and Russia. Others come from Europe as well. There are a lot of my students and followers in the list of participants. All this clearly shows that Kazakhstan has many talented professionals.
Бұл біздегі Қазақстандағы анимациялық кино саласы мамандарының қабілетінің де талантының да жеткілікті екендігін көрсетеді.
That's all the news we've got for you today. Make sure to stay tuned. I'm Jibek Joly, and I'll see you very soon.